Welcome to Big and Tall.
His former big ass and my tall, lengthy ass are gonna be helping you guys answer the fashion struggle questions of what big guys and tall guys go through daily in trying to find and elevate their style.
Do brands that offer extended sizes actually care about big and tall folks, or are they just checking a box for profit? I actually got an interesting perspective on this because I make clothes for big people.
Yeah,
So.
I would say some brands do not care. It is sometimes a marketing fluff, but I feel like you could also tell from the brand's page and website and just how, they tailor their clothes. Like he says, he makes big clothes, but it's like you can tell from his brand page that he makes clothes for big people, Like it's not the marketing has to go a different way where like it's all inclusive. And I feel like some brands just throw that in there, just to get that extra cash or just make it a cash cow type of thing.
Yeah. I feel like with me specifically, like when I first started out, like y'all know Big Loom. Obviously I went on my weight loss journey and I've started to like expand as far as people who look at me for fashion advice and styling advice, etc. But like when I first started out, I was not at all hiding behind the fact that these clothes will fit my big homies, like real shit. So like at first, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I could necessarily call it like a cash cow, but like I would say that like I was definitely appealing to bigger people.
Yeah.
Now, not necessarily in a negative way, but I mean, like any business, you got to make money. But at the same time, it's like you really need to like from the business owner perspective, like like I don't know, does that kind of lean into like that marketing or like that cash grab? Because obviously I'm my audience is bigger people. I make styling advice for bigger guys, selling clothes to them. Like, is it? I wouldn't say it's negative. I feel like sometimes like you remember Abercrombie,
Yeah.
and the controversy with that, and how like, bro, like he was like, I don't want any big people in my clothes.
Yeah.
Like, on the opposite side of the coin, do you think brands that are super like I feel like now where maybe's at, like I'm making clothes for bigger guys, smaller guys. It's more so about proportional fitting clothes for everybody. So like with a brand like Abercrombie, their
Yeah.
2X back in the day would be like for you.
Yeah.
Like you're a tall, skinny guy.
I think that's the same. Like I like how you brought Abercrombie. That's like because I work at Aritzia. That's like the same thing because Aritzia doesn't really make clothes for like big people.
Anybody over like 230
Yeah,
pounds.
it's like Aritzia is more of like they target that. I don't want to say the Hailey Bieber-esque, Kendall Jenner-esque type of
Like
body,
chic
like
dressing,
yeah,
like-
the chic corporate, like they target the corporate girly, the financial
socks
girls
dirty as fuck.
and all of that. So like I would say like most times like the thing is when they even do big sizes, it's always online. It's never in store. And I feel like from that standpoint, you can just tell like they're just throwing that out there just to be inclusive and not really, they don't really care
About big
big people. And it's the same thing with tall people too, because I just feel like a lot of influencers that we know aren't even as tall as us, or like I've met a lot of people that aren't as tall as me and they don't really understand the struggles of like not being able to find the right, the good length of pants, or like for big people finding big jeans that still has great proportions. So like I feel like when it comes to that aspect, some people do not care about it. I think he cares because he's been there, even though like he said he's on his weight loss journey, like he's been there, so he does definitely do care. But I haven't really seen another brand that really like puts it out there like, or like we care for big and tall people, So
Yeah. I feel like within the clothing brand industry, bro, and just the space, like it's one or the other. Like that's where I feel like I've bridged the gap. But then again, it's also like there's so much there's so much controversy, like especially with fashion, really anything that deals with vanity. Those who don't know, like the caring of how you look. Like there's like this stigma around like being big, and like there's a lot of people that just don't like big people. Like there's a lot of people that completely, and it's more common than like obviously somebody being like, anti this, anti, you know what I'm saying? But like anti big is it's like such a popular and public take. Whereas like back in the day, people being anti anything else, which we can all probably assume what I'm thinking of, like it was super condemned. And now it's like this, we don't go there with anybody, but being big, it's like there's no like anybody can like there's nothing wrong with calling somebody who's big fat or
Yeah,
like
anyone can get at it.
yeah.
Be like, you're a chud.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's popularized now.
Yeah.
Like like obviously the person who's big, they'll feel that pain. Whereas somebody back in the day who was called something that was like it was kind of like there's this overall stigma of being big. And if you're a brand, this is where I tie it all in. You're probably like, what the fuck's talking about? When you're a brand who makes clothes for big guys, yes, there are a lot of big people in the U.S. specifically, and that's why it's like it can work for a lot of brands that are like what I'm saying. There's brands like Fat Swag. Really, there's so many different brands like I could name. But like
Boohoo.
Boohoo Man, there's a lot of ASOS, but I'm saying
Yeah.
like not so much them because they're more so like in my thing where it's like
Yeah.
we're selling to everybody.
Yeah.
But they're like the brands that are for big people specifically on their clothing items, like Fat Swag for one, like his stuff, like he put me onto fashion. He did so much good stuff in the space, especially for big guys, and just like he's really pushing that stuff. And he's been losing weight too, but not necessarily like how I'm.
Yeah.
He's more so fit, like he's trying to be fit, but like he makes stuff like he'll make a shirt that says like fat and proud or like not like that, but like what I'm saying, clothes along those lines, like I'm swaggy and like but I'm fat, something stuff like that, like
just like shedding like more positivity towards it. Okay.
Whereas somebody who like is skinny, like you'll never see like a skinny person
Yeah,
wearing
like
that.
they'll do that. Yeah.
And even if he makes like a size small and goes all the way up to a size 6XL, they're like even like from like a business perspective, he's not buying very many smalls, medium larges, extra larges. He's gonna the majority of his inventory is gonna go for the bigger guys. That's probably the majority of who's buying the clothes, right? And like he has those beanies and stuff that as well. So there is ways you can, what I'm saying, go around it and make popular items that everybody will wear. But from a clothing perspective, like a lot of skinny people don't want to wear what bigger people are wearing. Whereas a big guy will always want to wear what a skinnier guy is wearing.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, especially because, and I'm saying this because I was 330 pounds. Like when I got styling inspo, there weren't very many big guys that were dressed like how I myself wanted to dress, but there also weren't very many brands making clothes for big guys that wanted to dress like skinny guys. So I was like, that's where I'll come in and I'll bridge the gap. And now it's like, now I'm more so trying to be more, I don't necessarily want to be like Fat Swag, where I'm just, this is a big person brand, but I want to be like, hey, big guy, I got clothes that you want to wear that the other, like that the skinny guy people want to wear that like will fit you proportionally. Like I'm not going to make a 2X and it comes in and it's made for a super, like a guy, like how Richie would make a 2X, for you, it's going to actually fit you proportionally. That's why I'm saying like, it's all about proportional fitting like clothes. And I feel like a lot of brands, that's where a lot of brands mess up on their sizing too.
Like they don't, it shows like they don't really care. Like tying it back to what you said is just like, it's all about just like caring. Like, and the thing is, you can't really say, like if you say you want to make clothes for everyone and it's all inclusive, you generally have to think about the proportions and just like the garments you're making.
Yeah.
Because some people who really take clothing and all of that seriously, they can tell when a brand owner or like a brand cares in general about what they're putting out there. And it's like, if you say it's really all inclusive, it's like, why is it that a fat person wears it and it's not, as proportionate as when a smaller person wears it or like a skinnier person wears it? And it's the same thing with being tall. It's just like, I feel like if you're gonna say, because I've seen some brands where they're like, 36 tall, and I get it, and it's a 36 made for someone who's like 5'11".
Yeah, they're based off industry standard.
And I'm just like, that's not really the way to go about it. It doesn't really, how am I gonna put this? It might put money in your pockets, but down the long run, it's gonna hurt your brand either way. Because if you think it's just fast cash, I think, and what I've learned from him is when you're starting a brand, you wanna have a community. You wanna have people that constantly come back to shop from your brand. If you're just messing that up and just thinking it's quick cash, down the line, those extra 10 tall people that you missed out on would have probably been, down the line, been the extra profit you needed to scale your brand up. And I feel like that's where like a lot of people mess up on. So
yeah, and it's like what you're saying, like, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's only 10 people, but like it scales up, right? So if there are 10 tall guys, like he's 6'7", if there are 10 tall guys like him, and then like Brian makes content, what I'm saying? Who knows? One of those 10 tall guys could be like a guy who, and they're taller, maybe they're using their height for something, maybe they're hooping, maybe they're, what I'm saying, making content online. A tall dude will see them, and then you went from 10 tall guys to 15, and then they started doing it, and then it just grows, right? So it's like it naturally will grow, but like if you're only catering to what you know, there's eventually going to come a point where, like, and it's a great thing where if you have just repeat customers, like brands like Balenciaga, Gucci, like all these fashion houses that are like super large, they're never going to go out of business because simply they're just making stuff for the people that want their brand because their brand is their brand.
Yeah.
As you're in the early stages, like it's no longer about just like, it's like yes, you got to tailor, you got to have your target customer, but like I feel like a lot of brands that are going to grow at this point, you know what I'm saying? Where we got so many established brands, I feel like one of the main ways that you're going to grow is by being able to cater to a bunch of people, and a lot of people think that's like, oh, I can't, like they think, oh, I can only, like, I'm not speaking from like a point of like streetwear, athleisure. Like I'm speaking as far as like proportions. Like proportions at the end of the day,
Is
like
everything.
you can have tough designs, but you got to be able to like bridge the gap and have as many people being able to wear it, right? So it's like
Facts.
brands like ASOS and Boohoo Man, which aren't necessarily recognized as fashion houses or, what I'm saying, but they dominate the e-commerce space because, they have so many people, like Fashion Nova, like a lot of these brands are fast fashion, right? But they're gonna be here forever simply because like you go to Boohoo Man as a big guy, although the quality's shit. I don't know if
Yeah,
I
they
like
make
the
they
quality's
make
not the
clothes for.
greatest, and like while the quality might not be the greatest, the prices are low, and you beyond a shadow of a doubt, you click on their categories, you're gonna
Always
see
gonna see
big and
something for a
tall,
big guy.
you're gonna see regular, you're gonna see plus size women, you're gonna see all this. So they have the options. And granted, because they're these fashion houses and they don't just make stuff for big people, not fashion houses, but because they're these, what I'm saying, like gigantic conglomerates like on the internet selling clothes, like they have the skinny guy stuff and they have the exact same thing but for the big guy. Like it's not just this is a big person shirt and then we got our little person shirts. Like we have this shirt and we've found a way to make it from small to 6XL and not just like per size, right? So they'll have like a big person, small, medium, large, you know what I'm saying? A
Yeah.
wide, a tall, small, medium. So which ultimately like it is expensive, right? If you're a smaller brand, I kind of get it because if you're a small brand and you
Yeah.
want to cater towards the sizings from small to triple XL, which is pretty standard if you want to sell to like everyone, like the issue I've ran into is like when I make denim,
Yeah.
right? Ideally, you have to go from, if you want to cater to everybody, you got to go from a typical, typically, because there are outliers, but you want to go from like a 26 to 28 inch waist. I
Yeah.
go to 28, and you want to go all the way up to a 46. But if you do standard like measurements, so 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, that's 11 sizes.
Yeah.
You can't just produce 11, you know what I'm saying, in a bulk order
Yeah.
where you got to get a minimum of 50 and you got 11 pairs, like that's what?
That's
You're going to get 5 pairs of pants per,
per
which,
size.
and no manufacturers are going to actually do that. So it's like, yeah, I kind of get it but then again, like maybe like as you're growing, I feel like maybe that makes sense or doesn't make sense, but there's brands that like, we're talking about brands. The question isn't about like small brands, it's about big brands. If there are big brands, like I don't understand the point in not making clothes for everybody.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's more money.
literally. And that's the thing, even with that, and I feel like what other big brands mess up on is when it comes to big and tall dudes, I think they think or they believe there's a scarcity of tall and big dudes because the average height is like 6 foot or like no, not even 6 foot, it's like 5'11" or. And I'm just like, if you walk into an AU basketball gym or freaking or a football squad,
Shut up.
oh, your door's open. The door's open.
Well, continue.
But it's like I just feel like if you walk into like I was saying, if you walk into an AU gym for basketball or you walk into like, you know, football too, it's like there's like a lot of tall and like in the basketball gym, there's like at least like 10,000 tall dudes, bro.
Yeah.
Like 6 foot and above. And I'm just like, if you're a big brand, I just think if you really want to make money, it shows it shows that certain brands don't care, but certain brands, I think to a certain extent, Levi does care. Levi is like a good, like they do definitely have, when it comes to tall people, I haven't really seen a lot of big clothes from them, but when it comes to tall people, Levi's is it's just very, very pricey. But like, I just feel like if you're a really big brand, it should be easier to cater to big and tall. But I feel like they miss out on the fact that they think not a lot of big and tall people are gonna buy it. And it's like, bro, if you're a big brand and you're the only big brand mass producing with great proportions, big and tall clothes, great proportions, great structure, you're consistently going to get customers back. And like, I feel like not a lot of them really take that into account because even from a modeling perspective, they always go for the perfect body, like, and to them that's that skinny figure, not too tall, not too short, just right there in the middle.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where they misconstrue things, where it's like, there are other people with different shapes, different sizes, and you don't cater to them that much. It's like not like, yeah, you know, everyone might be like, oh, I'm short, but when it comes to clothes, you have it easy. Like respectfully, like
You
short
can wear
people,
whatever you want.
like you can wear whatever you want. Like, and I feel like that's what coming up with my style too, because I had this argument too with someone on live, and they were like, oh, like, your style's like every Instagram person. I'm just like, okay, yeah, because that's what I can wear. I'm like, for someone who's 6'7", I dress better than half of the people I know. And they can wear anything they want. So it's like, and they're like, oh, stop using that. I'm like, I have to use my height. What else do you want me to use? If I wasn't tall, like I dress good now, I dress great. If I wasn't tall, my style would be way much better because I'm open to more things. But when I have to find clothes, I have to think about the inseam, I have to think about the waist. Even sometimes if the inseam and waist is perfect, the proportions might not be perfect, or the structure of the pants might not be. And I feel like a lot of brands too miss out on structure of the pants. Like I feel like now brands just make pants for pictures. They don't make pants where like if I'm walking, it's the same structure, it's flowy, it's nice. Now it's like sometimes I have to adjust the pants and stuff to take pictures with it. And I feel like that's where a lot of people mess up on now, bro. When it comes to that.
Shut up.
Why is he nervous?
You just did the door. Somebody slammed the door.
Oh.
Let me check how much time we're at.
Boom, 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 boom.
How much time has gone past since I asked that question?
You just asked that question a few seconds ago. Basically, right now.
No, the question I asked you about the big and tall. Like, how much time has passed since I asked you that?
It's been about a minute or so since you asked me
Bro,
that.
she's dumb. She's tripping.
Hey, I get it. Sometimes it feels like...
Can I see when I did it? Does it show me the time?
Yeah.
It doesn't. Wait, hold on. 7:03. Okay, where? Wait, no. We need to check on the camera real quick. Oh, it's been 21 minutes. Damn.
We're about to get a 30-minute clip.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That was episode. We're gonna cut it. We're gonna cut it there. We went 5 minutes over. Wait, no, because we talked for probably about like.
Yeah.
Let's go for a little bit longer. But then after this thought, we're gonna end. But continue with what you were saying.
Yeah, but I was just like, a lot of brands, I feel like when it comes to big and tall people, how I know like most of the time it's not genuine is when, the structure just isn't there and the proportions aren't there because it's not fitting like how it would look when you make it for a smaller person. So like back to you, like I feel like to a certain extent, people are using it just for like, that extra cash, but they don't understand that like if the big and tall person is feeling the same comfortability as the smaller person, that person's always gonna come back. If you're just making it for like quick, easy cash, I'm not obligated to come back and shop in your place. If anything, if I was a content creator, I'll go on the smear campaign. And that's like,
That's
it's like
how
you can't
change
be
happens,
mad.
though. Like,
Yeah, you can't be mad about that because it's like, imagine like I'm a content creator, right? I mean, which I am, but like, and I buy from your brand and
you
I'm like,
advertise like a certain
yeah,
fit.
and I advertise and I'm just like, respectfully, if I was you guys, I wouldn't go waste $110 to go buy jeans from this brand because they clearly they clearly don't care, about the structure, the fit of what a tall person would look like or what a big person would look like when wearing it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just feel like if anything, it hurts your brand even more if if you're just doing it for quick cash. And that's why nowadays most brands don't last. Like everyone's like, yeah, there's an influx in brands, like it's getting oversaturated. But the thing is, within 4 or 5 months, most of those brands don't last. They're cut.
Yeah.
And I feel like,
Getting it off the ground too. Like,
yeah, it's like I feel like what the brands that are really good, that actually make profit and actually build a community, what they're really good at is they know who they're catering to. It's like if you can't, cater to big people, tall people, just don't do it. If anything, you're not gonna hurt yourself by dismissing a certain group of people. This is for the people that they know they can't do it, but they still try to force their
Chopper.
way.
Go to your bed. Shut up.
I've never seen a dog who has a couch for himself. But back to what we were saying, it's like, damn, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying again? Oh yeah,
Catering to a being like if you're like you
yeah.
don't even waste your time if
It's
you're not
like,
gonna do it right.
yeah, you're wasting your time if you're not gonna do it right. If you don't get it right, you're gonna hurt
gonna
your brand
waste
even
money.
more. Yeah, like you're wasting money. You're gonna hurt your brand, and you're gonna hurt your reputation before you could even build it to where people can confidently come back and be like, I want to shop with you. That's why I mess with Sayla. Like I can constantly go back to Sayla and be like, I'll shop at Sayla. You feel me? So I feel like that's just there are certain brands that do use it as cash cow. There are certain brands that like you can tell they're trying, but it just hasn't been perfected.
They don't
yet.
got the right people doing
Yeah,
it.
they just don't have the right people, and it just hasn't been perfected yet. And it's like, it's no harm to them, but you can definitely see when I feel like the more you're more in tune with your
Chopper,
building
shut
your
up.
style.
Go. Shut up.
I feel like the more you're, getting more in tune with your style and wanting to find your style as a big and tall person, you can definitely tell when the person cares about a garment, You
Yeah.
definitely, like, when you get to understand clothes, get to understand texture, proportion, structure, and like people will be like, oh, it's never that deep. When you really care about how you dress and how you look, it is that deep. So I feel like a lot of brands think is like a lot of people from perspective of when they like think about what a tall or big person wear. I feel like they think it's not that deep, but it is. Like when you have someone as serious as us, where we really genuinely care about how we dress, our image, and all of that, it's very deep. And we look at those things like him. Like when he does his samples, he's over analyzing everything from the stitching to where the pockets fit, the waist, everything. Like everything is over analyzed. And, if you just don't care about it, I would say you're hurting yourself doing it down the line than like forcing yourself to just put out anything for big and tall people.
I have like another thing with that, like, because I've been close for like that cater to everybody, but like big guys, like if you scare a big dude and other big dudes saw that big dude was scared, they're not even gonna bother. They're not even gonna waste their time. Like if there's a bad review, like one big dude giving a bad review is the equivalent of like 100
100 of
skinny
them,
dudes, bro.
literally, like
Cause like big dudes will not even deal with the embarrassment of getting a clothing item and trying to freak it, and it does not work.
facts.
Like, but I ain't gonna lie, y'all. So like so you're saying you're basically on the point where like you think it's like 50-50, like
Yeah, like you can definitely tell when a brand is trying, but you can also know when they aren't, and like it's just like some quick, easy, fast cash. I feel like no hate to not all brands, but most brands in ATL do that.
yeah, for
Where
sure.
it's like
Skinny jeans
they're
and
not thinking about the growth of the brand. They're just thinking about
quick money.
and it's not bad. Thinking about money isn't bad, but I feel like if you're building a brand, you're a brand is like a child, bro. It grows. You feel me? Like it's like the more you put into it, the more you take care of it, the more you think about it, the better it grows. If you really think about wanting to make money, yeah, you might want to make fast cash, but it's like imagine making something where you don't have to work your 9 to 5, like where it's genuinely like you're like I feel like a brand is like you're genuinely catering to people, and it's like people. I feel like certain people they think about the money where they don't understand that like when it's more genuine when you see people on the street wearing your clothes and they're like, yo, like you did your big one with this, like it's fire. And that same person is consistently coming to shop and put money in your pockets. Like down the line, yeah, you might want the cash now, but and you might not want to reinvest it in your brand. But down the line, the money you think you're making now would be 10 times what you are, like what you want to, like however you want it right now. So like I feel like a lot of brands down in ATL do that. Like it's really fast cash. Even sometimes even in LA, like it's like,
Yeah.
holy smokes. LA, we're not even gonna get into LA.
But I mean, like, I guess to answer the question overall, do I think brands are doing that? Do I think it's like genuine or non-genuine? I feel like it's a pretty decent mix, but I feel like overall it's probably like 55, 60%, maybe even 65, 70.
Yeah.
Like brands are more so doing it for money.
Yeah.
And that's because like if you look around, you don't really see people like big dudes like wearing the same things you see a lot of these like, and it goes from a creative standpoint. Like you're more likely to see a big dude thrifting and making a tough outfit versus seeing them do a recent pickups haul with any of these designer brands that you're seeing
brands
from.
and all of that. You would never see that.
So it's like I feel like it's more up to the big dude to make it work versus like being able to just have clothes accessible. And we can literally go down the rabbit hole of the creators in which that have to do that. Like I was one of them.
Yeah,
but
I was one of them, and I'm still one of them. I still go thrifting. I still have to, even sometimes I buy pants and I have to open the hem.
Yeah, literally.
Like the bottom hem, open it. Like even these sweats, Uniqlo, I have to open the hem, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. But those are our takes, y'all. Let us know what you think of this shit in the comments down below. This was a good first episode. I feel like it was pretty solid. That was pretty good.
And we're not really podcasters,
So
I know the first episode isn't perfect, but I feel like, we did our thing. Let us know though if you guys want us to keep going. If you guys have more questions that you guys want us to answer.
Yeah, leave your questions in the comments.
Leave it in the comments. We're definitely gonna be looking out for questions.
Yeah.
And as time goes on, we'll try to make it better and smoother. But if you stayed and you kept on watching, appreciate you guys. It's real love.
Yep.
We'll catch you guys in the next one. That's the end of Big and Tall.
Yep. Like, comment, subscribe.
We'll see you guys.
If y'all fuck with it, we'll do this shit next week too.
Deuces.
See y'all.